Dice.
And then...
Oh,
And we're back. Welcome back. After a week off from stream, we have returned us from Cosmos Candela, the Candela Obscura space fantasy science fiction horror game with so many horrifying things like pizza chains and retro arcades. But I am your game mommy. My name is Steve, and I am joined by the Stratus Recollective. Say hello, Stratus Recollective.
Hello, Stratus
Hi.
Recollective.
Oh, I could say it. I wasn't sure if I was gonna get in trouble.
You're allowed.
I feel like I've been trying to do the bit. I don't know. I felt like I was judged recently.
We're fine. No, I judge myself, and now I have given myself the grace. I am.
Hello, Stratus Recollective.
Yeah, I am Brennan Lee Mulligan coded, and I will just not even pretend that I'm not biting off of him at all times. Every good thing I've ever done has already been done better on Dimension 20. But. And if not that, then NADPOD, and if not that,
they don't have an Unky Frank, Steve.
They don't have an Unky Frank.
They don't. That is accurate. That is true.
And they are lesser for that.
So
not as fruitful.
We're all back, which means we're no longer at a retro funplex going outside an alleyway to respond to a note that was surreptitiously delivered to Tery. We're rolling back to the current times, and the current times, my good friends,
they are changing.
My current friends are very tense. Very tense. With Izzy on his way to the bank. With Izzy on his way to the bank. With Tery and Kilo on their way back to Quasi Quasars. With Eddie on his way back to that kind of neighborhood. I think Tery and Kilo were also going to the bank. Correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
There was a role I did that I didn't do well at, and you said the consequences were on the way. I think it was me.
Yeah, it was you.
Remind him of it.
Thank you. I would have forgot that note. Yeah. Thank you for reminding teacher that you had homework. On a Friday. What about the homework, teach? Before a 3-day weekend.
Everybody turns around and just is like, how?
It only impacts me.
You just get drop kicked. Just
But
get swirlies out back.
No, but
not even in a toilet out back.
Nym, after a long day at the office, at the office in what will soon be the former quarters of the Stratus Recollective, and setting up all the movement into the blimp headquarters of that chapter. The Nym left the office, smartly left a bit surreptitiously, so as not to necessarily gain, was keeping their head on a swivel, but unfortunately surrounding the several blocks of location that was the best they could zone in when last Nym's private GPS tracker and body cam, eyeball cam situation was finally disabled.
There is no private. It's all dangerous.
Nym finds themselves, or Nym and squad found themselves kind of surrounded by various moving autopods, the modern version of car. The only real difference is they hover. But as are all with branding and labels of Talk to Me or Gray Industries, the owning corporation of Talk to Me. Nym's former employer and current thing. Now, I can't remember which two of you were the ones that actually caught. I want to say it was Izzy and Eddie are the ones that caught that this was occurring and everything, and that Tery, Kilo, and Nym did not catch the final kind of read situation or survey situation.
And Eddie has his wacky drink for Milo.
Yeah, Eddie does have his good time boy drink that has the garlic.
Boy time drink too.
It's
I don't know if we're going to call it boy time.
I really don't want it to be called that.
He's juicing. That's all there is to it.
He's juicing. It's delicious. And honestly, still sounds
which coming from him sounds suspicious, but no, it's juice.
It's juice.
What do you want?
It's juice with garlic in it, and it actually sounds pretty
garlicky
tasty.
Juice.
Do they look hostile by any chance?
Well, right now they look like they're in vans, but all of you know that Nym has been receiving constant communications from them, being like, "Where are you at?" and that they were being spied on through.
I'm sorry. It's been a couple of weeks, and one of those weeks was especially Bernie outy for me. What are we looking at again?
So what you're at is, imagine, city street, quasars. You're on the outside of it. You're within several blocks of it. All of you have spotted that each other are within like roughly a block or two of the quasars on the outside. Around those blocks, city blocks, right? Around those blocks, you see various vehicles that are branded as either Talk to Me, which is the company that Nym directly worked for, or their parent corporation, Gray Industries. So you, Eddie, and Tery are not like near each other, but you're like half a block away from each other, and you're the ones that like catch on to this.
Sure.
I did?
Not Tery, sorry. Eddie and Izzy. Tery and Kilo are right next to each other.
Are they... Does it seem to just be surveillance, or are they actively trying to kettle us?
Too many cars. I would say that you, Eddie, and Izzy both rolled well enough to understand, to at least be like, this is a lot of vehicles, and it feels like as you put it so aptly, a kettling. They are trying to cordon you off. Now that they're trying to cordon Nym off. That's who they care about, and they think that Nym is here, but they're making it in a situation or they believe Nym is here. They're very confident Nym is within their diameter at this point.
Sure. Wait, so they don't know Nym's there yet?
They don't know exactly where Nym is.
Exactly. I mean, they haven't seen Nym come out or anything.
No. Nym is out of quasars, not easily in sight of
it was
anyone.
smart enough to be like, I'm super aware of what's happening.
Yeah, because that was Abby's choice.
Can Nym see me?
Call, Abby.
Well,
it's good to know that on the occasion
she's got that big brain. She's got that big
Nym,
brain.
I don't know.
I've got that well-read, highly educated brain.
I will say that Nym, you can either see Izzy or you can see Kilo and Tery, depending on the angle of view, because Kilo and Tery are near a bank, and Izzy was on said way to the said bank. But more importantly,
Nothing
Nym,
could possibly go wrong.
and
here.
I'm going to reveal this on Nym's side first. Eddie, you don't have this mutually currently. Okay. Nym, you realize maybe in just this moment, when you see one of your other compatriots, your brain registers that you also know Eddie is here, but you don't know, you don't actually see Eddie. You just know that he's here, and there's that little like dissonance of like, it almost made you had the confidence. It's almost like dream confidence knowledge, where you're like, I know that this is true in a dream, regardless of if what's visually memorable in the dream implies that. Like, your face was this, but I know that you were actually this person.
We were at Grandma's house, but it wasn't Grandma's house, but it was Grandma's house, and then it went to the basement. And it was pudding,
and so it's that kind of like confidence.
Pudding cool.
I went to the basement.
If I can, I want to just sprint the Nym nonchalantly, but I'm an athlete, so that sprint
nonchalantly.
Nonchalant.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're taking.
Are you just acting like, oh, I'm a sporty person?
You want to make
everyone is like, wow.
I'm going to urgently meander.
Izzy already is
walking.
He stays in athletic attire anyway. So
you want to make it appear like you're just in your athletic, whether it's workout or how you
Like
generally
do some
move
stretching first,
I
and
know
then
what you
make it look
mean.
take
natural.
off and
It's
start
like that.
jogging a little faster.
It's like that jogging saunter kind of where it looks relaxed, like you're in no particular rush, but you're.
But the strides are just.
I get you.
All right, I will need you to do this as a hide check, Izzy, because but the DC, if you will, the success is 3 and above. 2 and 1 won't succeed, but the consequence they have is that you'll make yourself more noticeable, but not like an immediately like huge threatening consequence.
More like, is he hidden enough?
I'm not trying to hide.
This isn't so much hiding as making yourself inconspicuous.
Okay.
But also,
It's keeping
so
up the
wait,
ruse.
so Izzy sees Nym.
Yeah, let's say Izzy sees Nym. Let's say Izzy can spot Nym.
Izzy sees Nym.
Izzy's thought process is,
I would just like.
Yeah.
I would just like to point out. No, I guess I shouldn't. Never mind. It's
What?
meta.
You can
Okay.
meta.
Oh.
I'm not against meta.
No, I'm just thinking like if Izzy does make eye contact with Nym and runs for Nym, then Talk to Me immediately knows where Nym is.
Maybe.
If they catch him.
If Izzy passes
It's
the
reason
roll.
being conspicuous.
Yeah. And again, so the challenge rating, if you want to do this, is 3 and above. So anything 3 and above is an absolute success, and even a 2 or 1 isn't necessarily an absolute failure. It's just you become not inconspicuous. So they don't know Izzy from. They don't know Izzy from. I don't think that they have enough context to be like, oh, Izzy's there. Nym simply must be where they're going to. Because they don't necessarily know that there's a definitive relationship between you two.
Okay, that's fair.
They'd just be like, wow, that is one fast lizard.
I don't have any dots on hide, so is it 1 die or 2 die again? I forgot.
If you have no dot pips in it whatsoever, it's 2 die, take the lower.
Yeah,
Okay.
Disadvantage.
Rolling at disadvantage. Gotcha.
Disadvantage. Doesn't make me nervous one little bit. No, Eddie.
Go
It's
on.
not
1 or
Eddie.
2.
Is he?
What did I do?
I'm sorry.
A 1.
1. All right. So
No.
now,
Trip and fall.
now, because you're doing it deliberately, I'm going to give you a survey. Not survey. Sorry. Survey. A survey roll, and regardless of what pips that you have in this, unless you have higher pip, let me look at your survey real quick. So you only have 1 pip naturally in this.
I have a pip.
I'm giving you advantage because your decision is trying to be nonchalant about this. So your eyes out for if this is work. So roll 2d6, take the higher on this one. And this is a 50-50 split. 4 and above, success. 3 and below, failure on if you catch that they've clocked you. Perfect.
Woo.
So you, before you get too close
Heaven
to
to
them,
hell. All right.
know that they've caught you. Or know that like you see some eyes through some windows on the vehicles, like tracking you and everything. So you immediately know, oh no, they've spotted me. But you also know that there's no definitive understanding that you would equal Nym in any way, shape, or form. Like them seeing you is just them noticing you and then keep like kind of watching you to see what you're up to, but not like in a you're a suspect, more in a that's interesting. That guy started running. What's he up to?
I have a backup plan.
That could be a
I
problem.
have a plan.
This is Mr. Gutenuff. He cannot be seen.
Yeah.
Mr. Gutenuff, would you please stand up?
And you fail. And that's kind of what I want to do. I want to ham up me falling.
Oh. All right. This one is a
Griffin. Ow!
I'm gonna say sway.
You
Like a
doing the
soccer
Family
player.
Guy thing?
Exactly. I've been
Neymar.
once again sports, baby. Sports
Soccer
ball.
player just gotta be so dramatic for no reason.
Yeah.
That's a foul. My ankle's broken.
Yeah, this is a sway roll.
I'm dying.
I have a pep and sway.
This is
Yay!
My career.
I believe in you. Heart of the cards.
3.
Okay. They believe that you've fallen. The hard part about this is that some of them
I think you can't get up.
are just like now like slightly like, did you just see that guy eat it? And everything. So you have their attention. The sway if it had been particularly high is if there happened to be an empathetic person that would have like come out and been like, "Are you okay?" And everything. But instead, they are watching you.
Your face hit the concrete.
Assholes.
Are you broken?
Instead, they're just mean and they just watch you get hurt and then like look closer but don't move.
I am going to turn into the like. I'm seriously playing this up. All these cars and there's a no one else to help me.
Amazing.
Call out.
All of these several vans.
And there's so many vans that could be helpful. So many windows.
There's so many of you, but why are so many no one's helping me?
So.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's happening for Izzy. Eddie.
Yes.
Eddie, you are able to clock this. You see everything that Izzy's doing, of course.
Sure.
Really
all
hard
of
at
you
this
are
point
aware
not
that
to see
Izzy
what
is
Izzy's
fucking
doing.
in the mix at this point.
It's me telling a kill. Did you see that guy falling? Oh, it's easy.
I know that guy.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So none in the back. So none of the minivans here want to help.
So as Izzy,
I love that. Just in the distance, like that idiot hit
Why
the
is
dirt.
he yelling?
That's our idiot.
Eddie,
Yes.
you've clocked what's kind of going on here.
Yes.
You've clocked enough that you're like no one's gotten out of a vehicle and they're all in movement pattern. So you know that they haven't like they've like it's obvious that they're like, we feel like Nym is close, but we don't have an exact read on her and has not been spotted, because you've had to avoid these sorts of scenarios before when people were trying to clock you. What is Eddie's play here as set to the backdrop of Izzy yelling about the vans?
Have I been able to surmise that they're probably...
It doesn't come off.
What was that? Will?
Have I surmised that they're... Can I figure out that they're looking for Nym?
I think you would assume that. You're a paranoid enough person that you're like, talk to me, Gray Industries, talk to me, Gray Industries. Yeah, and it's like, and again, you're aware of the fact that you, if none of this had ever happened, Eddie, if none of this had ever happened and someone went to Eddie and was like, hey, did you know this corporation puts cameras in people's eyeballs so they can spy on what they're looking? I assume that Eddie would be like, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that sounds right.
I believe it.
Yeah, that would be Eddie.
Yeah. And so I don't think any of this would have had to happen for you to be like, even if you never met and you just came upon this scene, it's like, oh, they're gonna try and, or that's a lot of talk to me in Gray bands. Obviously, they're up to something bad here.
That's bad.
And so, with all the context, you know that they're looking for Nym, and you're pretty confident that no one in this moment, at least, has laid eyes on Nym yet. Otherwise, this route, this kind of like perimeter they've created would close in a specific way, and some people would be pouring out of the vehicles.
Have they clocked me yet?
You don't think that they've clocked you. You're also not clear if there's any reason they would, because they're private. They're not like, unless you've decided in your backstory that you've specifically pissed off Gray Industries. There's no. For you and everyone else here, is in no way definitively connected to Nym.
So basically, all of us.
I mean, there's also a giant distraction in the middle of the road.
Yeah, and so right now they're talking is
distraction.
Right. As far as I know, you're all just full-on strangers. Why would they think there's any connection?
So
I'm just making a local
random
superstar out on a
people.
walk on a day at work. It's normal.
Just a random guy going to the bank.
Just a
on
random
Thursday afternoon.
Tery Byte. Who wanted to know what trash collection was.
Just a random
Just
micro
true.
celebrity doing micro celebrity shit.
Yeah.
I am going to try to stay as nonchalant as possible. Nope, I'm just passing through. But I am going to try to make my way towards Nym.
I love that we have the opposite ends of the spectrum. Meanwhile, Izzy's like, I am so Shalon. I'm so Shalon.
I'm so aggressively Shalon.
I'm so loud.
I'm so Shalon. You don't even
Eddie,
know.
for you on this one's gonna be a fucking cakewalk for you because I'm giving you one for free because there's no reason you shouldn't have advantage on this. So hide roll. I think you have one pip in it normally.
I do. Yes.
You get one free bonus die from me because again. This is your wheelhouse of don't notice me. I'm not trying to get involved in anything. I just want to blend. 5. You you start thinking in the perspective of like what you would do to exit out of Quasars and not be as obvious as possible about your route. In either direction, in both the normal person walk out the front door and everything, or being so surreptitious that in itself could become a noticeable thing if someone was particularly observant, where they're like, well, that person's obviously like trying to break into something. It's a fine line to be unnoticed and
look at that sneaky sneaker
and unnoticed, and so it does not take you long to get in sight of Nym, who is in the alley is the wrong word, the behind lane of Quasars and like kitty corner 1 block over. Well concealed at this point from any onlookers unless they knew. Where Eddie would be like, if I wanted to get out of here and not be really noticeable, how would I do it? And the answer is this route that Nym has taken. So you can catch up to Nym without being spotted.
Okay.
Or endangering Nym.
You just see like puffed up feathers of her just freaking out like, oh my gosh.
Oh, so
Aggravated feathers. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
They found Eddie is screaming out. Not Eddie, you're Eddie. Which one? Izzy. Izzy is screaming out there. I am so sorry.
Yeah, he's kind of making a distraction, and I think that's we need to sort of lean on that.
Okay, take advantage. Take advantage of the moment. Yeah, 100%. This is so bad.
Where's where can we go that might where can we go? What can we do?
Izzy
I don't know, the
screaming
new safe
in the background.
It's like I just put together the new safe house, but that's in the freaking sky. I don't have access to that right now. As far as I know.
How do we get access to it then?
I don't know.
You could autopod up to it. This world's Uber.
It's like I just ordered it. I don't know what's set up about it.
Yeah, it's also almost certainly Nym. It's not like set up yet. It's just
no, yeah. It's like that's what she said. Like I just ordered it. It's not. It's like we signed the paperwork. That doesn't mean everything.
Yeah.
It's like I was signing paperwork. That doesn't mean that it's like actually ready. But like
we've ordered the pizza. It's still in the oven.
This is the
I thought
very
everything was safe.
considerate part
Nothing
of
is safe
town.
anymore, Eddie. Nothing is safe anymore. Nothing in this world is safe, and it's all terrible. Normalcy is a lie that we've been fed our entire lives, and I hate it.
Oh, Nym. Oh.
Well,
I'm just gonna need some therapy, I think.
My cortisol levels are up the roof, and I don't even know if I have cortisol. That's against the point.
All right.
I talk words. That's the extent of my knowledge.
All right. If we head out the back way.
Is this what anxiety feels like? Fuck this shit.
It's no. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that right now. Like, if we head out the
no things to worry about. That's correct. I can worry about other things.
Okay. No, like,
why is no one worried about me?
We're getting out of here.
Okay.
We're gonna head down a couple of levels. We're gonna find a bar, hide out there for a minute, and
sure.
Just
sure. Yeah.
It's I know places where we can lay low.
You sound very sure about that, and that's very reassuring. Thank you.
Yeah, just just keep your head down. Do you have a hoodie or something, like sort of make yourself as nondescript as possible? As
I can pull up my turtleneck.
Nym doesn't strike me as
I
like
feel
a
like when
hoodie
she
if
does,
it's suit out. I don't know.
I feel like when
But
she
doesn't
does
really wear
that,
sleeves generally because she's got like the feathers, and putting feathers up would be bad.
and I feel like when she like pulls her turtleneck up, it actually makes the feathers just kind of like, and
It's like
it's
she already has like the stressed like the feathers already like stressed up, and just makes her head look like a lollipop.
That's worse.
A skinny neck.
Is okay. Does Quasi Quasars have like uniform hoodies?
Oh,
is it?
Yeah, they got merch. They got
so
merch.
greasy.
They definitely
got
got merch.
visors. You know they got the visors.
Even if it's not merch, even if it's like these are like these, we give these out to our delivery drivers for days that like
are cold,
that the heating on the station is running wonky. So here, keep yourself warm, that kind of thing. So like, just grab one of those, and like here, put this on. Keep the hood up.
Okay.
And all right, and
I'll think short thoughts. Think short thoughts.
Think short.
Think thoughts.
Think nondescript. We're out here going to get a drink. That's all.
I forgot how to walk.
I need.
How do you walk normal? Hi, baby.
Yeah, we got merch.
Nym is making
believe
me
in this
feel
entire
like
time.
16.
No one has offered to help. If I was a little old lady, I would help.
Do you have your anxiety buddy?
And yeah, I'm gonna lead Nym out and try to find a way down a couple of levels to get to a second location, someplace that they may not be expecting.
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a choice, and I don't want you to say your answer now. Feel free to DM each other to discuss options. Eddie,
okay.
From your knowledge, going above streets could potentially work. If you're kind of eyes out and everything like that, there's a relative chance, but it's a little bit of a coin flip. It's a little bit of a 50-50. It's going to be a struggle. It's not the hardest thing, but it's not the easiest. And everything. Or you have a very high chance of success of avoiding Talk to Me and Gray Industries here with Nym. But that would involve utilizing the utility passageways. I'm not going to explain too much detail. That has a high chance of success here, but creates an incredibly high and risky complication by doing it.
Oh no.
For you. So it'll basically put the danger in a slightly different spot, and everything. But you will almost certainly, you will not even need to roll to do it. You can just do it. But extremely high consequential risk versus that, or you can try to do with a mix of survey and hide and with a mix of survey and hide, try to make your way in a more traditional route. So DM each other DM each other to coordinate what you two want to do as players for both of you. I pivot over to Kilo and Tery. I would say that Kilo and Tery, as you're approaching the bank, suddenly you hear the yelling of because neither of you noticed the car situation, the absolute yelling of a person in the middle of the road, as Tery said, "Hey, look at that guy that just fell! Oh my God, that's Izzy!"
Oh no!
And everything. So that's what you two know. You don't. Neither of you spotted the cars. Neither of you have spotted other people. It's just been you two going to the bank, and then suddenly you see Izzy.
Oh, and we see it's Izzy.
Yeah, it's very clearly Izzy.
I go immediately because he's asking for help.
No, wait.
Okay. It's Izzy.
Take a look around. Wait, we don't see any of the trucks yet because
it's not that you can't see them; it's that you didn't notice that there was like a bunch of. You didn't notice them. It's sort of like it's sort of like before you buy a vehicle, right? Before you buy a type of car,
that kind of thing,
and you don't notice how many of that car exist on the road, and that always must have been true. You just now own one, so now you clock it every time. You're at the before you've bought it, where it's like, oh, they're all there. It's just white noise in the background of thoughts. But
Fine. Got the traffic today.
You're
Wait
welcome.
a minute.
You're welcome, Kilo, to
Yeah.
because of your character's history and vibe. You're welcome to try to roll about this to see if this gives you an opportunity to pick up because Izzy is screaming off the top of his out of the top of his lungs, and that in and of itself would at least like rattle your mind a bit.
I can make a survey or something. Just
Survey. You could also read Izzy if you wanted to, if that's a better thing. Or
Read is not better.
focus. Survey, focus, or read probably here.
Survey, focus. Okay.
If you want to justify like a good character, I think it's fair to say that Kilo would immediately be like, "Wait, what's going on?"
It's my galaxy from the same. My Galaxy galaxy.
My galaxy from the same galaxy is causing a scene, and why is that?
Yeah.
I got a 5.
You got a 5. I think.
Yeah.
Which one did you roll?
Survey.
You clock Izzy. Izzy is in the middle of the street, quote unquote, middle of the main path, main drive.
Really hamming it up.
That causes you to be like, why would he be doing that? And you look at the situation, and now Kilo, as Tery is beginning to try and go help, now you catch. Talk to. Well, Tery is still relatively close to you.
I reach out and I put my hand on Tery's shoulder. I think Izzy's doing us a favor right now.
Okay. Am I drunk still?
No, that was in the future. You're not drunk. You're
Oh
sober.
yeah.
Right? You're
future.
trying
You will
to
be
give
drunk.
Izzy money.
And the
Yeah, we're
so
going
that-
to the bank
yeah,
to go
yeah.
to get. Yeah, I mixed the.
No, you're
Okay.
I double cliffhangered you. It's fine.
I think those vans are here for Nym.
Okay.
I don't think we should go to Izzy right now. I think Izzy's trying to do us a good favor. He's doing a damn good job. Look at him. The theatrics are incredible. He really should have
That's
gone into
true.
acting. Look at him go.
The tears look
Very
so real.
convincing.
It's like he
Oh my
plays
gosh.
it was like he
I
plays
was-
in professional
yeah.
soccer. He's milking that drop so hard.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
no.
distressed. Now I'm feeling like emotional and almost wanting to give him an
I'm not
award.
gonna, but I could let a tear out if I wanted to, but not in this moment. Just counter that later.
Yeah. So you think he's doing that for us to leave?
I think
Oh,
he's trying to.
for Nym to live.
I think he's trying to give a chance for Nym to get out of here. I
Should
think we should get out of here too, because these people are freaks and creeps, and I think it's best if they don't know that we know each other.
Yeah, but what if Nym needs help?
I think that's what Izzy's doing right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I think Izzy's-
Alexander also needs help.
Is Nym out of sight of everybody now?
Yeah, Nym right now, no matter what's going on, is out of sight of everyone but Eddie, who's with Nym.
Okay, if I can see that, I'm just gonna slowly pick myself up and
Yeah,
limp.
I would say you had a good chance of glancing and clocking that Eddie, ever so briefly, was with Nym before they.
Oh my god, the pain! I'm just looking around. The pain.
God, really, he has a gift. We gotta gas this up if we get out of here. He has potential.
I just get up and limp towards the bank.
Gonna leap?
Limp.
The
Like,
point.
I'm still.
Oh,
Just, I'm fine. No.
Okay,
I'm wondering, is there an alternative route where they don't necessarily see us going into the bank right now, which we will go there, but is there an alternative route that kind of takes us away from how they've kind of
Well,
blocked
so
us?
I would say that with your clocking of it, you notice that everybody's kind of moving. You notice the vans start moving in a pattern, even as Izzy begins to wrap up. That it doesn't like
Wrap
they didn't approach Izzy. They don't seem to have changed when Izzy gets up and starts limping towards you. No one seems to have targeted you guys at all. You all seem to
I
be
know.
safe. This all seems to be very much about Nym right now. And so I think
Yeah,
that eventually the gears would be like, oh, they don't really know about any of our connections. So This is
So we'll move on.
so we're not necessarily in danger right now, and none of you are. And then neither you, Kilo, or Tery have seen Eddie at all in this whole time.
Yeah.
So you don't know that.
Yeah.
But essentially, when Izzy gets to you, that information can be relayed. So I would say that you're welcome to surreptitiously do the bank thing, but I will present to you that it's like, I don't think Kilo, as a former combatant, focuses a lot on situational awareness. And so I think that Kilo would very quickly clock, oh, they don't perceive us. They're not noticing us. They're here for a thing. Now that still might be something you want to obfuscate, because you know they got cameras. You know that they're gonna surveil everything.
Because like I think these are the kind of people that will just sell others information.
Yeah.
Like for the right price.
What?
So if I can reduce
a mobile app company selling information, what?
if I
meta.
Reduce our exposure in any way.
You know what? I heard that joke.
Julia,
I heard
that
that
was
joke,
good.
Julia. I heard it, and
that
it
was good.
It was
so good.
cringe and amazing at the same time, and it deserves to be called out. It deserves to be called put in front.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Good job.
I have a related joke, but I'll share it later.
If there's any way we can reduce our exposure to them, especially when they're in such a concentrated force right now, I would prefer that. If Terry's down for that as well.
No, but here's my thing, or Terry's thing. He gets it, but I think he would be worried for Nym, especially if Izzy's joining us. I would be like, okay, what about Nym? I don't know where Eddie is. So
yeah, we have to go. We're definitely gonna go find them, of course, because we have to like link back up. But
let me put my disguise then. I put the fedora.
I forgot about the scarf. I forgot about the scarf.
Giant scarf to cover your face.
And the
Massive
scarf.
massive
so
glasses.
inconspicuous. You just melt into
no one sees me
to the
anymore.
environment.
No one.
Camouflage.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you do a group hide check.
Okay.
I'm going to be kind because they're not looking for you. So it should be actually pretty easy to make yourselves not noticeable. So all of you are going to roll hide, and whoever gets the highest number, that's the group's hide check. And that's you, Tery, and Izzy.
Okay. 4. Oh, do I have hide?
Yeah, do you have hide, Tery?
I do. I roll another one.
Ooh.
I rolled at disadvantage and got a 4.
Full disadvantage, you got a 1.
4.
Okay, so 4 it is. So you are all effective at not really being particularly noticeable. It would be a situation where later, in a scenario where in their own private investigation into Nym, or if something comes across somebody that they see you, then they go back through any surveillance footage, then they eventually spot you guys on it. But unless something else triggers them to associate any of you with Nym, or any of you, or really particularly notice any of you, none of you are going to be noticed. It seems like they've moved now that he's no longer hamming it up for the audience. They've moved on from Izzy. As
Astro
Izzy
hamming
joins up with whatever route you guys take.
Astro
No one helped No one helped you.
Astro ham.
Yeah.
And you stood there and acted your heart out. It was touchy.
Will?
Look, it's
sorry. I didn't realize I was interrupting. Go ahead. Continue. Keep going.
Oh, just one small stint doing Frost Goal. It's fine. All the players there, you like thump them, they just fall down. So.
Oh, I see.
So you all is the plan for you to still more immediately get into the bank to try and get Izzy his money? That Terry's trying to loan him but can't from direct debit because of controls Alexander put on their automatic things.
Oh yeah.
Or
Izzy, now that you're here.
So yeah,
it shouldn't take us long.
Is the intent to do that first, then go look for Nym, or is the intent to kind of like hide out for like a few minutes? Like what's the plan here?
Izzy has completely forgotten about his money and wanted to help Nym.
You need to
He got
not forget
too
about that.
character.
Your family's house is a
Yeah.
day trip.
But yeah, so what's the intent there? And then once I have that, we'll go back to Eddie and Nym.
It's up to you, though.
I'm going to
I
roll
have-
Izzy's intent.
I also have
That's so fair.
a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. I think you said
Or
the
crazy.
Alexander thing was 24 hours.
Yeah, it happens tonight.
Yeah, we are working on a time
Okay,
crunch.
so we're good. We're good.
Yeah,
Still.
you're good. Eddie's eventually gonna get a message about this for the thing. Then that's gonna.
Spoilers.
Yeah. I mean, we already know.
Once
they're in
again,
the
Eddie's
job.
going to make
Yeah,
so
it's
much
him.
money off of being associated with Tery Byte in some way.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Dreaming.
odds is, oh, where you gonna get this money? Or evens completely forgets about the money and worries about Nym.
Yeah.
Heavy.
And it's a 6. We're even.
Yeah. So Izzy comes in with Nym worry energy.
That's so fair. What are we laughing at? I missed it. I missed
I made
it.
a joke. I think if I
Okay.
repeat, it's not gonna be as
You
funny.
don't need to repeat.
Unfortunately.
No,
I'll
it
go
won't
back
even.
and watch. I'll go back
It'll
and
be
watch
so
after.
good.
So
But this comes up, guys. Did y'all see all the trucks? Vans, trucks,
Yeah.
whatever the hell they are.
Izzy, I gotta say, my Palaxy from the same galaxy, you've got potential as an actor, 1000%. That was really something out there.
Yeah, they made my tail like. But anyway, that's it.
No,
You could
that's-
also be a
right,
streamer.
right. You could
It's
be a
like,
streamer.
really, you think I
You have to
I
act.
had to give it that.
You could be a stunt double.
Oh, yeah,
Wait,
money,
no, back.
Damn.
Nym.
That is so bad.
We can
Yeah.
find
Money, Nym.
All right, wait, hold on. Deep breath together. 1, 2, 3.
Nym.
No, I want
Oh.
I want
You
to.
better just
I thought we were gonna do like a.
No, it wasn't like
Together.
a hands in. It was
I
like
thought
I
it
was
was,
trying to get
okay.
us back
Cowboy dog kind of situation.
together. All
Yeah.
right. Shh.
I'm pretty calm.
Okay. We're gonna go.
Okay.
I'm certain.
I saw Nym disappear with Eddie.
All right,
That's all
good.
I saw.
That's a good thing. Okay, that's good.
Okay, so Eddie's
All
first.
according to plan.
They are both very smart.
And I'm sure they're far
Finding
away
each
from here by
other's
now.
safe. Yes.
Meanwhile,
So, meanwhile, Eddie, Nym, what have you decided for your
transition.
route?
We are going to take the utility tunnels.
That's what I wanted you to say, of course.
Hell yeah, rock and roll.
Nym is
Eddie,
blindly
give
following him, like,
me-
yeah, you seem like you know what we're doing. Let's go.
Give me a focus roll, please, Eddie.
Focus.
No consequences, just general knowledge about the utility
Okay.
tunnels.
Focusing.
How much detail and actual facts you know about them.
That's a big 2.
Oof.
Oh fuck.
The blind is leading the blind.
You've been told that
No,
the
seeing
utility
impaired is leading the blind.
You've been told that the utility tunnels are incredibly dangerous, both
cataract.
from like moving around them, right, and the things that occur in them. Like they're not like meant for people to just casually move through, as well as the fact that there's tons of rumors about dangerous goings on in the people. There's whole ideas about communities in the utility tunnels. Of course, there's crocodiles down there, and
Turtles.
They're
We're
like weird
dangerous.
toes on scooter bikes,
Yeah,
just jumping
yeah,
over walls.
Hey, what's wrong with a crocodile?
Nothing.
You got issues?
Teenage Mutant Ninja
Nothing, they're just
Turtles,
down there.
Rise and a Half
Yeah,
Shadow.
they're just down
Anyone
there.
have beef
Yeah.
Calm down, big man.
with,
Calm down, big man.
anything that looks like me in the slightest?
Adjacently
You're
You're like,
related
what
to
you
me.
saying
Parents
about
live
lizard
there.
kind?
This would be like me being like, "What do you mean you don't like bonobo chimps?" And it's like, "Yeah, they're monsters."
Listen. Listen. I'm just saying.
But Eddie, you're sure that A, that's exaggerated by people that have never been in any kind of real danger in their life. B, you're not from a good neighborhood, so you're not scared. You're not scared. It's like, how much more of a threat could it be than any number of situations you've been in the past? So yeah, maybe you wouldn't suggest Nym do this alone, but you're here. You'll keep eyes out for any kind of danger.
Sure.
I'm just walking around like, are you sure? This doesn't look sanitary. What's that one line from like Tarzan? Is this water sanitary? It looks questionable to me.
There's no pedestrians in Africa.
And so
exactly, that's the
they're sanitary and they're safe.
As I stated, the utility tunnels of Velis as a whole, you don't have to roll. You just know where the access points are. There's of course warnings, dangerous, voltage.
Yeah.
No person entry. You and Nym both know that whenever the city has to like service itself or something like that in this, they do things like shut down zones around the utility tunnels so that certain functions happen. So you open the hatchway into this this hatchway into the utility tunnel that looks suspiciously like a manhole cover. And
for some reason.
And then see a long ladder down. But unlike a sewer entry, you also see circuitry, paneling, very Star Trek Jeffries tube sort of energy, because this is a space station. So every usable inch of it. So it's tighter than a manhole cover. You could both individually barely like snugly fit down it.
We're two of the skinniest people in the group. What are we?
Kilo cannot go into a utility tunnel via one of these covers.
With his shoulders, nah.
Honestly, maybe with
his multiple shoulders. Nah.
Yeah, honestly, Izzy, with the amount that I am 100% sure Izzy's got in the trunk, I don't think Izzy could get his ass down these things.
It's the thighs. Yeah. It'd just be like Token and Razor trying to go down.
Yeah, but
tragic.
You two can fit down here and like go down there. As you make your way down to the very first surface, these aren't sewers. And I need to make that clear. There's not water here.
Right.
These are just a network of seemingly infinite and endless maze of the corridors and functionalities between layers, walls, levels, floors, and buildings that make sure that Velis functions. Because we're not in a magical world. Wires connect everything. Circuitry connects everything. The chips are microscopic, but the utility can only be so refined. So whereas it might be fiber optic and glowy, it's still basically wire from point A goes to points B through X. Splices over here, does this and everything. So the first thing I need you to do is need you both to do is either a survey roll or a focus roll, or because it's the both of you two, sense rolls.
I'm gonna go for a sense roll.
That's
5.
Let me think. I'm gonna go focus. Focus. I also got a 5.
Okay, so with 2 5s, with your focus, Nym, you are beginning to look at this methodically. There's that overwhelming feeling of this is just nothing but tunnels and mazes. I've never been down here. You've also heard rumors about the utility tunnels. You know them to be rumors. They're stories. It's not like there's been like a 60 Minutes report on it. But they're stories every kid grows up with. But you're an adult. You get yourself a little bit centered, and you're like, okay, we're here, and the street is there. So therefore, I understand that this much branch out, but it's not based off street because there's too many branches closer. So you start methodically beginning to kind of internally map out the logic that this place simply must have in order for people to work in it when need be.
Right.
And everything.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Does gravity work in here?
Gravity works everywhere in the station unless it's specifically not working. Let me rephrase. Gravity works everywhere in the populated zones where people are expected to be in the station, unless it's particularly turned off. There are various sporting events that are anti-gravity. There are spas that are anti-gravity. And in theory, district by district or neighborhood by neighborhood, certain sections of the station could just have it removed. But it's not like Bab 5 where it must be spinning or anything like that. And it must be whole station. But yeah, gravity is working down here. The air smells like ozone. It smells mostly like electricity and dusty electronic computer parts down here. It's
very static electricity.
Eddie, on the other hand, since you used sense, Eddie, you kind of begin being more concerned about maybe what you don't know about is down here. What you do know about is electronics and various utilitarian things. What you don't know is people, creatures, anything. You don't know if that be there. In your experience, if someone can be in a location in the station, someone eventually will be. Whether it seems to be a burnt out location that's condemned, or even, or even tucked away up to no good, in a inside of a school when it's closed overnight, right? These are there is too much population here for people not to fill every
in a contained
possible
station.
Yeah. It is the population here is water, and it will fill every space it can reach. So you're in that space. Eddie, you feel...
That was a good comparison, Steve. I'm sorry, I just like that.
Thank you.
Very poetic.
You feel a sense.
Beautiful, artisanal.
With a 5, you don't quite have a hard sense of what it is. It's not thinking. And it's not reaching back out to you. Your mind is beginning to do this. You also note that perhaps the tension, perhaps the stress, perhaps just the things of the day, whatever you most recently took seems to be wearing down. And maybe that's not the worst thing in this particular moment until you're in a place where you can get settled.
Yeah.
But you can sense many things that are not humanoid or sentient, but are definitely living, or at least have thought of some kind.
Okay.
There's fucking squirrels down here.
I'm going to say that you sense them in
squirrels.
Not all around you, predominantly in one half of a direction. So 180 degrees in a certain direction. They don't seem close. You're not getting exactly what it is, but you're getting a feeling that it's like there's definitely down that way something over that way.
All right, and it's not reaching back out, you said.
No, it's not. It's not like the it does not seem it's not connecting with you. It's you maybe in this limited space where there's not so many people like inside of you, where there's a clear delimiter of you and the majority of the population of the station. You're in the same space, but you're not in the same space anymore. You're very isolated.
It's probably easier for me to pick out because there's so fewer signals down here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you get a sense that roughly in one direction, several things are that way.
Okay.
In another direction, it doesn't feel like there's anything that way.
Okay. I'm gonna I'm just gonna signal to Nym to see it, like, and just like keep an eye out over that way.
Why?
Just something down here.
Good reason. Hard to go against that.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a logic.
Might not be bad. Might not be a bad thing. Just a thing. You know, head on a swivel and all that.
I'm good at that. Head on a swivel.
Nym, as you and Eddie make your way through with your, because you don't have to move fast, so you can move deliberately. I need you to make a, this has got to be a survey roll. It's got to be a survey roll. Survey. And
Dude, if you want to put your glasses back on, you can put it back on.
I can't.
We were just getting a little crazy with the points.
Yep.
We got a little out of hand.
I took it out as well.
I'm nearsighted. It's fine.
Okay. Survey roll.
It's part of our personality.
That is a pair of 4s. So that will be 4.
Okay, survey roll. You eventually begin to hear something, Nym.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear that it's getting closer with a 4. I am going to say that your and Eddie, this lines up with your senses.
Okay.
There is something that you now know is aware that you're here, but you don't know what that means, or like it's not like you're not so telepathic and empathetic or empathic,
right?
That you're like, and I can feel that it's hunting me or anything like that. You don't know what it's doing.
Just know it's there,
but
and
now
it's
is aware, and it is moving in your direction. You're still not clear about speed, but it's moving in your direction. You now have a clock. This clock is going to be 4 choices that you make. The 4 choices that you make are going to have various branching consequences. After those 4 choices are done, if you have not gotten yourself into a safe location, and when I say safe location, I mean out of the utility shafts, and in a neighborhood or at least area or bar, as was the intended place, that you want, then whatever this is going to catch up with you.
Oh my god.
Okay.
At 3 choices, you're gonna see it, but at 4 choices, and that might be from far away, it might be from very close, and everything. So I'm gonna give you guys 4 decisions to make, one after the other, and you can roll whatever you want about them to try to find more information or context, but they're just flat decisions. And then based off of that, your decision gathering. Consequences for this are, from a storyline thing, pretty significant. Mortality wise, up in the air. All right.
I'll be 100% honest. I'm suddenly like, there is a part of me, and don't get me, this is a horror game, and I understand that that's what like he just said, the mortality up in the air. Remember that scene in Monsters Inc. when they get to the snowy area and the abominable snowman's there, like, welcome to the Himalayas. There's a non-zero chance of that happening.
There is a non-zero chance. This is a game run by me. I might just do a bit instead of being hewing to horror. In fact, arguably, that's the safer bet. But so the first choice I'm going to give you, I'm actually going to give you the first 2 choices to discuss. The first choice I'm going to give you is that both of you come to an impasse where you cannot just walk your way or easily climb your way to a thing. there is a gulf or an area of distance between you and the next utility shaft, like corridor that you could potentially jump to, but it feels a little far. Not so far that it's undoable, but the kind of thing that when you look up at two buildings and they're fairly close together, you think to yourself, I can jump from one roof to the next, and then you get up there and you're like, I feel like I could, but now I'm second guessing myself because if I'm wrong, this is bad. So that's the choice number one on if you jump across, or you can climb way down, but you cannot see what is down. It goes so far down that you do not know, and you know that the climbing would be slower, and that the things are closing, and I'm fine with it being things because it's things. The things are closing.
Awesome. Oh
The second choice you have to make is is based on your current situation, Eddie, and this is for you all to make as players as a group, but this is Eddie's choice in game. You have two spots in mind. One is where criminals hang out. And you know is not really going to be where anyone expects Nym to be, but also has reason that a person like Nym might not necessarily be as safe there, and everything. And the other one, is kind of edge case and is not a bar, but is a place that you know that they wouldn't connect Nym to at all either. But it involves you having to go to a particular friend's house and their recently wed husband who you are doing a favor for, and everything. And you could get yourself to that neighborhood and there'd be no reason for anyone to ever assume Nym was there. They live in a pretty normal suburby kind of spot and everything like that. So that's your choices. You don't have to make them now. And when I come back, you can roll them, but I want to give a little time to the other group. While you guys are discussing that, so that I'm bouncing in between and they're not just watching this very enthralling, but also, they're also here to play their characters.
Right, as is the way.
Kilo, Tery, Izzy. A few minutes have passed. It seems like the talk to me vehicles and gray industry vehicles aren't going to go anywhere, but it also doesn't seem like they're going to change anything up. And you both know, or you all know, all three of you know, that Izzy and Eddie are not here anymore. Wherever they are, they're definitely not in this area, not with this much time passing. And so you have the bank there. Izzy still has Izzy's problem to deal with, and the three are there. So do you want to go into the bank, or do you want to shoot that and try and figure out how to reconnect with Eddie and Nym?
But
or
I mean,
go on.
I can't imagine. We've got multiple fires to put out right now.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine the bank thing would take too long. Right?
Yeah, it's like the DMV.
Because it's just we're just transferring funds.
Yeah, and I've went to the bank so many times. I'm so used to it. I know exactly what to do when I get there. Yeah, so we can go. Yeah.
The way you're saying it,
I don't know what
like
you mean.
Maybe you might not know.
I do, but I do.
You do. You do.
But I do.
All right. You do.
You see.
All right. You're saying it so many times, so I'm gonna trust you. And hope that it works out.
I do want to shoot Eddie a text.
I will have my feelings will be a little hurt if we get there and maybe that is not the case. And as your best friend or one of your best friends, I value honesty.
No, I won't let you down. I know what I'm doing.
Let me down.
There's a weird energy between you two right now.
I'm malfunctioning.
in the head canon, Eddie, Izzy's just like looking back and forth, like, huh. But I do want to send Eddie a message. Just, do you want to eat later at crazy quasars later, or would you like to eat somewhere else? Question mark.
Great text and good
Clever.
obfuscation, Izzy.
Very clever.
Eddie, you do
Very
not
good.
receive that text.
course
You are in the utility
not.
shafts. But you will eventually, assuming you make it out of the
You
utility
followed
shafts.
the compliment immediately with a
Scary.
burn.
Yeah.
I mean, Izzy doesn't know he's in the tunnel.
Yeah, no,
No,
Izzy,
yeah, you don't. We have no way of knowing.
Okay. So back to Kilo and Tery's strange
We
energy.
go to the bank.
You get into the bank.
Going
You're
to the
going in the bank.
That
Tery-
Tery definitely knows how to use.
I do.
Because Tery has told me about 10 times at this point that he knows what to do.
I
And
remember one
trust-
time I went there
I
and I
trust
got
my
like
friend.
money.
I
I
trust.
just go up to
my
Kilo.
friend.
It's just like kind of salts up. I don't think he knows what the hell he's doing.
Oh no, we're following this through now.
Oh,
We go.
As you lead Kilo and Kilo and Izzy into the bank, Tery, with all the confidence. The bank
monies,
is,
please.
as you remember it, the one time you were there last. One time you were there last. It is incredibly cold. Like cold looking, sorry, not in temperature. It's incredibly cold looking in the way that almost all of it is like brushed metal.
Too modern.
Too modern. And it makes sense because other than a couple other people that are in this bank, this entire bank is not staffed by people, but in fact staffed by automatons. For a broader reference, modern Doctor Who Cybermen. For a more descriptive reference, smooth, relatively like form molded humanoid looking structures, but they're not androids in the way where they're meant to look like people. They're androids in the way where they're meant to look like robots. So they're very metallic.
Okay.
They're all monochromatic. They have no particular like clear features. They have spots where their eyes are that glow and like a little like speaker box for their mouths. And everything like that, but they're not trying to meet you at like Detroit Become Human levels of Android or even Data from Star Trek.
Okay.
They are very much robot-looking people.
No, so I
Or
have a question.
Futurama, kind of.
Yeah.
At this point in this universe, like sentience when it comes to like androids and robots and things like that, like how much personality are we talking here?
So
Like is the culture I engage with this android as though it was just another person, or is the culture a little
Yeah.
bit
Good
different?
question.
So
And with cyborgs, which are half and half, like me.
yeah. I mean, so
And of course, what about eye people?
eye people.
There's
From Apple.
androids. There must be eye people.
There
Yeah,
simply
it's-
are eye
Yeah.
people. They're very irritating, and for some reason,
They won't
you
stop
can't.
telling you that they're eye people.
Yeah,
They're all Studio Ghibli.
but no. So, very good, by the way, Will. I need to acknowledge that was a very clever turnaround into a pun. Nonetheless,
That's his job in Giggle Girl Productions. I even
so
forgot his exact
it's
Chief Pun
complicated.
Officer.
Is the easiest
Yeah.
way to put
Pun
it.
Master Supreme.
There are species of people that are considered people in Velis that are completely constructed. They are non-organic. And they are very much like what we would think of as like robot people. They're and they are fully sentient. They are fully autonomous from each other. There are extremely advanced androids that are built to have personalities, and there's a lot of argument about where the line of realism is there.
Yeah.
And then there's the banned singularity versions, which are the ones that are not culturally, it would not be legal for you, Kilo, to give sentience to a robot. it is legal for a planet whose culture has evolved to that and everything. So it's a very like tentative and complex things. I think that on Velis, the general Velis vibe of interacting with these is that you kind of treat all robots like people because you don't really know who's actually gonna be people, even if they look like a toaster oven. And,
yeah, absolutely.
And everything. That's the Velis vibe. That's not to say that there aren't people that moved to Velis within the last few years that are like, look at this little like clever contraption, and everything. But the general Velis rule is you just talk to them like they're a person, and then that way you're never offensive. And because of that,
people until proven otherwise, until they show you something else.
Yeah, and because of that the programming for lots of the ones that are very much service focused, that are very much like service driven, is meant to kind of like be sort of like friendly but canned. Sort of like how Siri and Alexa are, right? Where it's like
they only have so many things they can say to you.
Yeah. So that is a great question. It is something that I had thought about esoterically, but I never thought about like what the cultural reaction to that would be. And so knowing that, I think it really like put that into frame. So yeah, you would normally everyone treats them.
On a more serious note, almost like the how they treat robots in Overwatch. So like it's one of like characters. I mean, obviously, Overwatch presents a couple different avenues of it. Like you have people like Zenyatta who are trying to be more peacekeepers. Can't we all get along? And then there's that other newer character whose name I can't remember, who's a bit more, militant Magneto about it.
Yep. Yeah, very much. And and so it's a complex thing in a complex galaxy, but the general rule of thumb is be nice and you probably won't be a problem. If you're unnecessarily nice to a computer program, is that actually a bad thing?
Hey, I always say
they'll remember.
I always thank Siri.
They'll always remember.
Gotta do that. So, Tery, you're taking the lead on this. You see a number of kiosks that have like little desks and these android men sort of, or android people sort of like robotting along, doing that.
Botting right along.
Is it afternoon right now?
Yeah, it's afternoon.
Good afternoon, friends. I go to a robot and treat it as any person.
Hello there, friend and patron. What brings you to the Velis Bank today?
I want my money. I'm trying to mimic. Maybe is that racist?
Is it you're
trying
mixed?
To mimic the... Oh, I
mixed. Tragic.
I can do it.
I am. By the way, I need to say how much I'm here for Abby lounging on the bed.
Abby looks so comfortable.
I know, right?
My spine hurt from hunching over. I needed to stretch out my back.
That's fair.
Is there a popcorn machine nearby? Like, is it one of those weird banks that has like a little mini popcorn machine just there?
Unfortunately, it does not have any sort of convenience.
Do I need to put a hat on? If somebody redeems hats off to you, do I put a hat on?
Yeah. Hats
or
off.
Or do we? Oh, we have to put a hat on.
I actually had a hat within reach.
I have hats.
I gotta get a hat.
I have several hats. I have several beanies for this very.
Is that a tea cozy? Like, what is that? Is that just like a knit doily?
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Mine's Alphonse.
Well, you came to the right place if you want your money, Mr. Scanning Byte. We're here to help you get your money. How much money would you like?
What is it? Izzy? It's 50?
Oh shit, I have it written down somewhere. What was that?
I think it's 50,000.
My notes are gone.
I mean, you can give me 100,000 and like I'll keep the change for me. I guess.
Disclose amount.
Yeah. This amount, and everything. 100,000. Would you like that in transferable credits or physical money?
Physical money, which I totally knew we had Still.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you were to evaluate,
Sawbucks will never go out of fashion, Mr. Byte. We're glad to give that to you in physical money.
Transferable credits.
You want? Wait a second, Mr. What is your name?
My
They must
name,
have a name tag.
I sense
They do have a name tag. My name is
10101.
Yeah. My name is Ollie. 011 lowercase 1 0.
Lowercase 1.
Yep.
How is there a lowercase
It's
1?
just a smaller one so that
It's
it
the
looks like an
future.
I.
It's just a tiny one, you know.
My name is Ollie, your friendly bank teller.
Okay, Ollie, just a second. Izzy, don't you want it like physical? Am I tripping?
Am I tripping?
That's a lot to carry and worry about. Let's just
Is that
transfer the
what Tery
credits.
just said? Am I tripping?
I know the slang of the youngsters, okay? I am a streamer.
Always a valid
Of course
question.
I do.
Always a valid question.
Earlier,
That's one of my favorite things. Am I tripping?
I tripped earlier. Remember, we got to transfer this thing, and we also got things to do later. So carrying on a big bag of money is kind of.
Tripping?
No. But the whole thing
But
was
I
I
mean-
couldn't transfer to you, or like I couldn't. I'm scared if it's okay. Better than that. I'll go back to Ollie. Sir, could you transfer 50,000 credits to my friend here, and give me 50,000 in cash?
Absolutely, not a problem. Would you like a cucumber water?
No,
Actually,
but
that
if
sounds
you
nice.
were to evaluate my conduct in the bank as 0 to 10 and how much it seems like I've been here many times, what number would you give it?
Ollie sits processing. I would give you a 10 out of 10. You're a fantastic customer.
I turn to Kilo and I'm like,
Ollie, I would say Ollie's right, honestly.
I turned a kilo and just.
Yeah.
I mean, look at him go.
So,
yes.
50,000 in transferable credits too. Their head like rotates and looks at Izzy, scanning. Izzy, Gutenuff.
I
Transfer
just pose
complete.
and I'm scared.
Now, let me go to my counting room to retain your cash. While you wait, you can listen to this fun retro tune on our favorite channel here at the Bank of Velis, Retro Tunes. And it's just the dubstep remix of the Creed song that's going on around TikTok right now.
You
What
would think
Creed song
I'll
is
turn
I miss-
to Izzy and Kilo and be like, you would think this would be faster by what year are we? It should be faster.
I mean, my half of it's faster. It's just.
Yeah, the first half.
You ask for the old methodology, you get the old speeds. You watch as Ollie kind of goes back to a back room where you see just adorably a bunch of androids in like black vests with little green visors on and like physical money counters counting up money like a proper counting. So you can see it as the door swings open and
one has a cigar in his mouth.
yeah. Just like full old school counting and counting. And they come out and they're like, or they peek their head out of the door. I forgot to ask. My apologies. Would you like that in a bag with a dollar symbol on it, or a briefcase, or just in banded stacks? Or perhaps a roll, or perhaps in rolls with rubber bands around them.
Oh, that. Every single one sounds cool. Which one's gonna make me look cooler?
Which one's gonna make you look more
Bag of
legular
money.
and/or
No.
The briefcase.
Probably
Bag of
the
money.
briefcase.
I mean, not.
Okay. So,
Briefcase.
can you do them in little rows inside the briefcase so
Absolutely.
it's double cool? Okay.
And can you put the suitcase in a bag with a dollar sign?
No, we cannot.
Oh
We do not want.
my
No, thank you to the numbered the money bag.
They
Yeah, just the yeah.
they disappear for a bit, and then they come back out, and they're like, they put a briefcase facing themselves, spin it around perfectly 180 degrees, unclick it to open it up, and you see the little rolls, and they've put it in denominations so that it perfectly fills the briefcase, so that it looks very full, even though it's only 50K, which is not nothing, but is not usually like the stacks of money in a briefcase amount of money and everything. And they're like,
Should I get more? Maybe I'll get more.
I'm
think
very
we're good.
much reminded in this moment that Tery is toughing it with us right now.
yeah.
He is
Can I get just
loving
a
it.
bag of money?
Just
Not
shows
of-
up at the
Yeah.
I just want the bag the money comes in. Like, can I get one of those?
So
Please.
they close the briefcase, slide it over to you. They reach under the counter. They hand an empty bag with the dollar symbol over to Tery.
That's going in my
I give it too easy.
That's going in my inventory. That will save
Oh
our
my
butts later.
God.
Empty bag of money, empty canvas sack
Yeah.
with dollar sign on it.
You could use it as a trap.
Money
Yeah.
sack.
There's somebody.
To lure somebody
Not even
there.
like a modern bank's like security bag or anything, just like a
No,
full
it's a cartoon
sack.
one.
Just a
Burlap.
cartoon
Very
bag with a
Looney,
bag.
like
Yes.
Shoot,
it's a
I
very
want the
Looney
bag.
Tunes kind of trap.
Very Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Acme brand.
Yes.
And
Acme Co.
they look to you and it's like, will you require anything else of Ollie today here at the Bank of Velis?
No, thank you, Ollie. 10, and then I say it perfectly.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Ollie.
His full name.
His full name.
Yeah.
Thank
Birth
you
name.
so much. So much.
Oliver.
And then out of their neck, there's like a little seam. Out of their neck, you hear like a printing noise, and like a little physical receipt comes out, and they
Oh my
pick it
God.
off of their neck. They tear it away from their neck, put it down.
I
Circle
also have
some.
a printer installing me.
Ooh, what model of printer?
Really?
Does it
Slow
do
turn
color?
to Terry.
What?
Just like
What's great?
The heck? Why is there a printer?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Why
What
do
are
you
you
need a
printing?
printer?
You have a printer. What do you?
Where do you
printing?
insert paper?
Where is it?
Where do you insert
You know where the
paper?
paper is coming out.
Where do you put the ink?
We know where it comes out, but where is it going in?
You know
Uh,
that Terry's printer has the small dot matrix reels on it to
Okay.
move the paper because it was installed in a different era when they were a little bit
Julia.
thing, so it makes a loud.
Oh my
I know
God.
you. I know you are a very popular artist with so many commissions on your plate. However, I needed
However.
Terry's art yesterday. I need to see this man.
Ju-
Please.
Julia's-
I am begging
Need
you.
to see
Julia's
him
gonna
with
have
my
to update
eyes.
Terry's art every time a gimmick
Every
comes
week.
in,
Please.
and they're just like,
With
"This
new
would be
random
funny if
bullshit.
Terry had this."
yeah, I want to be like, and then
I just imagine like a penny arcade
printing
style
slot.
comic book, like, just at the
I-
back of Terry. Oh, I have a printer too. Just Kilo and Izzy. Just
I
like,
print
what?
a little. Yeah, I'm gonna print a little hard and pull it out.
Like a label
like,
maker?
"Oh,
Like a
did you
little
just
label
remove
maker
that?"
style printer?
It's,
Yeah.
it's a Game Boy sticker.
Yeah, it's from my ass.
I saw you reach
That's where
back here and pull it
Yeah.
out. Are you telling me the printer?
I have a printer on my
Printer.
asshole. I don't know what the big fuss
right,
is
here we go.
about.
I just want to.
I don't
Where
want
else
this
would it be?
heart.
I do want
I-
this art. Full-
Anyone.
I don't want this heart. That's the thing.
I think it's very useful.
I mean,
I've used it many times,
Yeah.
just like now.
yeah.
How else would I print?
No,
I have a
I'm not
printer?
judging. I was just surprised.
Ollie slides the receipt over to you, and it has.
And I
been
give him the heart
and
back.
he takes the heart and he unpeels the sticker portion of it, and he puts it like right where his cheek would be, and he goes, "Thank you so much for such a kind
That
gift."
came out of his ass. Don't put it on your face. That's unsanitary.
Where's the poop? If the paper comes out,
We can talk that another day. We'll talk
do you
about-
poop? Do you poop?
We're not
Do
there
we need
yet.
to get into
Well, what's
Terry's
the-
septic
I-
system?
Yeah, I keep going back and forth
Yes.
between Kelly and Kilo, because we both have questions. We both have questions.
But
It's so funny.
We're
that
not
all
there
goes
yet.
smoothly.
I mean, I've heard of toilet paper, but this is ridiculous.
That all
God.
goes smoothly. Izzy,
Shut
you
up.
see that the credits are in your account. That whatever the
heathen.
necessary credit
Okay.
number, I'll have to go back to my notes. The necessary credit number for you to
So
keep
mad.
your house from being taken away. Terry, you have
I wrote
50,000.
50.
What?
I
Oh my
wrote 50. I did. I found my notes.
Okay, so you
and
wrote
I
50?
wrote 50.
Okay, so
50.
50. Yeah, that makes sense for 2 years. Yeah.
Because I think I said 15 as well. I was like 15.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
50. 50,000. I found my notes too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And I have to pick up some cannolis eventually. But anyway.
so you have that, and no terrible incident happens for this little squad at the bank. Izzy has already sent a text over to Eddie, unbeknownst to the fact that Eddie has not received said text, and we will leave this little delightful.
Before
But before we
leave,
go,
can I just immediately open the bag and give like 10K for Kilo and 10K for Izzy? We're like Asians or something. We need to have emergency money, so that way everyone has like emergency
This-
money.
This is
Some-
emergency.
a little
money.
walking around money.
yeah.
Yeah, I got 50, 10K.
This
10K,
is
10K.
walking around
nice
money.
candy.
Yeah.
Get you
What kind of candy?
What?
What?
You're just giving
Oh,
it's like you
and-
give it
You can
Eddie
buy
knows
so
what
much
kind of
milk
candy.
with
They're,
this.
Halloween
they're
right
rolled
now.
up.
Just
Yeah.
Okay,
I will
just
carry it if you decide. I will carry it if you decide you want it. I will give it.
No,
to
no, 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 no. It's emergency money. Let's say you have to buy like a taco or something. Then you have
you.
it.
What kind of taco?
Yeah, I don't the one you like.
It's a banana, Michael. How much could it be? $10?
Perfect.
All right.
Harry, you need to get out more.
Golly.
How much does milk cost?
boy.
Anyway,
Milk.
So much
We
milk
need
with
some
this
milk.
bad
What is
boy.
forever
You
milk?
can buy so much milk with
Where
this.
does the milk go to?
Your bones will
like
be
I said,
so
we're not
damn
going to dive
strong.
in this session into what's going on with Tery Byte's septic system, but
Oh my god.
but nonetheless, now we cut back. We had two choices to make: big
Yes.
leap over or down, and the destination location. Any questions, any concerns, any dice rolls before these decisions are made?
When they come to the area, I do believe that Nim's first inclination would be to like quickly dig through her purse and grab like a mint or something and drop it down to try to see how deep this would look. If you can't see the bottom, she would immediately want to go, how bad is this potentially going to be? Trying
Just
to listen for a hit to hit the bottom.
it does hit a bottom eventually. You hear it clang. You count the seconds. It's not insurmountable. It's just maybe a couple 100 feet down. So like
Not insurmountable. It's uncomfortable.
That's a couple hundred. You know.
I'm sitting here like
you wouldn't want to climb up
she's
it,
checking
but
to see
going
like,
down it.
are we going to break if we hit the ground?
What's a
Yeah,
couple
if you
hundred feet
fall,
between friends?
If you fall, it will kill you. Unless you catch something on the way down. So if you fall but if you just climb down the ladder that's there on the edge of it, you could climb downward 200 feet, maybe not upward 200 feet, but downward 200 feet without too much trouble.
Is there a corresponding ladder on the other side?
No, there is not.
Okay. So it's down into the questionable depths or try to leap.
A leap of faith, if you will.
She chose
Uh-huh.
down.
And then, Eddie, have you considered what Eddie would be more leaning toward? Anonymous bar or friend's location, but also involving friend's spouse?
Anonymous bar.
Anonymous bar.
Definitely.
Okay.
I don't
Either
want to.
direction will get you there. That choice is not part of this. Okay, good. Okay, so that
It
one,
is. Definitely anonymous bar. I don't want to drag to drag her into this right now.
Okay, so now we're left with the decision: jump across or go down.
Oof. Oof.
Oof.
Ooh.
What a decision.
Oh
It's
my
considerably
God.
further than 20 feet.
Yes.
These are the two. I don't know if you could jump it because you two are the smarties.
Yeah, it's wild how I
Yeah.
put in front a challenge that was specifically challenging for the two people that would be challenged by it.
Such a
coincidence.
coincidence.
You know
Just
what?
two that have very
You know
little
what?
physical.
So crazy.
We were trying. You know what? Actually,
What are
we
the
were
odds?
we were trying to go to a lower deck anyway, a lower
Yeah,
area anyway. Climbing
Okay.
down is probably the smartest because that's. I mean, we're trying to go down
That does make
anyway.
sense. If you're trying to get
So-
deeper into the bowels,
Right.
it's not about getting across, it's about getting down. Okay,
Okay.
sure.
Into the bowels.
Giggity.
Sure,
Where
sure,
the
sure, sure,
paper is printed.
Okay, so you don't have to
That's
roll
where the
to climb
rolling
down
sound
a
comes
ladder.
from.
You are both adults. You know how to climb down ladder. But climbing down a ladder is not a fast process.
No.
And climbing down a ladder, and you know that things are closing in is a very threatening way to put it, but there's
They're
no
approaching.
real. They're approaching. I was like gaining is equally as threatening.
And I was like, what's a less terrifying but still vaguely ominous word?
Yeah. So they are. You know that things are approaching, but you move down, and Eddie keeps you from involving anyone that really has no part of this. And you make your way down pretty comfortably. Down here, it starts off relatively dark, but once your feet and or claws touch the ground, how human are Nim's feet, or how bird are Nim's feet? Is Nym really upsetting where they're full bird except for their feet,
Nym
which are just human
upsetting.
feet?
Human or bird?
I'd say
Free?
75% bird.
75%. So a little thicker, little more durable, little more built to be walked on regularly.
The
Rather
feet
than
can be a
just
little bit more flatter than a regular bird's,
yeah.
but not necessarily humanoid in any
you could
way.
buy a cute shoe for him, is what we're saying.
A cute strappy sandal.
a cute strappy sandal. So when
Tennis
those
shoes?
touch the ground, lights come up and everything. Again, utility shaft. Something has to work down here, no matter
Right.
what.
Right. Generator lights.
So yeah, pretty dim, but not like shadowy or dangerous. But you can definitely begin hearing. Both of you can very clearly hear in the quiet of this place the noise, the sort of. From a distance, you thought maybe it was pitter patter. Maybe it's about being in tunnels. You're thinking like rats or like things like that. But it actually just seems to be like a large group of kind of lightly stepping creatures. But they're not. They're
Kind of
not
a shuffling sound.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a shuffling sound, a little bit of of an uneven sound. None of you are necessarily trained to be like, this is this kind of a creature and this is this kind of a
Right.
Right.
creature. But like you're like, okay, these aren't small. You now know that whatever's coming at you is not like little guys. It's not like squirrels or rats or something like that.
Aw.
Right.
Uh,
They've got
Well,
some mass
it's
to
an,
them.
it's an ROUS.
as you go down the only corridor you can for a while until it begins branching up, Eddie, you know that you have probably from here multiple ways up toward the neighborhood you need to get to the bar,
Okay.
bar and everything. But you see conveniently there is a lift shaft. Now, this is not like the lifts around the station where population go, where it's all anti-grav and it's very Wonka Vadery, where it can go wherever it wants, and everything. This is very much a mine shaft of an elevator, so it's fairly tight. It looks extremely
Yeah.
durable and heavy. It doesn't move fast, but it will get you up where you want to go, as opposed to every other path you're going to have to constantly keep figuring out where to go. So this is about trusting in your own instincts as Nym and Eddie and figuring out where to go, or going on something where you see that it goes up and it doesn't seem like it's probably going to move very fast, but it will get you to like essentially like parking layer 1 of the utility tunnels before you can get up to the main floor. Decision number
Okay.
3.
Okay.
Okay, direct but slow, or trust our instincts and maybe get some distance,
But also maybe get lost.
but also maybe get lost.
I say trust instincts.
Okay.
This is gonna
With
be
your
fun.
intuition and
All right.
my brains, maybe we won't get lost.
You will have to use survey or focus. No sense for this because there's nothing in this that would let you like mind empathy guide yourself. And so it's survey or focus.
Okay. Okay.
Consequences of this are, well, you're already aware. The consequences are pretty intense here. So failing
I'm
this
gonna
would be
use
bad.
I'm going to use my last intuition drive.
That's fair.
It's 4.
Nym,
Okay.
On
Let's
focus, I
go.
should say.
4 on focus.
Let's go survey. I don't have a flat surface. Where did I put it? Put it on my phone. How many do I have in survey? 2? That's correct. Okay. That is a 5.
Or 5. 5 is better than a 4. That's
That
what's
is
important.
a 5.
You, Eddie,
5
you and Nym,
2,
between
so I
the two
take
of
the
you,
5.
kind of develop almost a quick shorthand. Maybe it's Nim's ability to translate. Maybe it's your constant ability to keep your head on a swivel and do shorthand with other criminals when when time is of the essence, and you also need to
Nym will pick up
obfuscate
your
what you're
thieves'
talking.
can't.
So yeah, there's like a little bit of a thieves can't kind of energy going on, or a thieves language almost going on, or to take it out of crime, a server shorthand. That you just both kind of key in, and Nim's actually doing a lot of the work of just sort of picking up where Eddie's brain is naturally going, and then being like, okay, well, if you're thinking that for this word, then simply this must be what you would use here. So you're able to navigate pretty well. It's not a complete success, but it moves you along well. You come up on a couple of like little like corridor ladders that are fairly short that have then a level. You're keeping your kind of wits about you on where your orientation is, and between the two of you, you don't actually think that you lose that much time. But at one point during a scaffolding, or during a crossing across scaffolding, you're crossing I'm going to say about 60 to 70 feet up from the area that was behind you where you came. So you were there, and that's 60 to 70 feet down. And as I said, on round 3, depending on how well you did, this would be where you get your glance of them and how close they may or may not be to you.
Oh my god.
You
they?
all see, or you all, Eddie and Nym. Here's what Eddie recognizes. Eddie, you've seen these mushrooms throughout the station. In fact, arguably, you've seen a higher increase of growth of them in different areas that could be, something that would be, manipulatable into a cocktail of entertainment drugs.
Sure.
Nym, you see an amalgamum of materials that look like they came purely from server rooms or computers or office equipment or like essentially things that you'd find in the official large corporate buildings.
Right.
Both of you see both of these things as they are merged into the what can only be described as varying degrees of decay and necrosis, physical forms of what you hope are well passed on humanoid bodies as we're going to call it stream or river of groaning, shambling, moving, cybernetic, fungal, human dead creatures is slowly
Are you saying that there's fucking
after
cybernetic myxoid zombies?
Cyber clickers.
There are cybernetic myconoid zombies in the utility shafts of Velis. And they are coming for you, but so far you've only made one decision that's allowed them to gain on you, and 2 decisions that have kept you at pace or moved you faster away from them. So they're not close.
Oh, you bastard! This is the.
Holy
Oh.
And so, last decision, and this is the last decision you have to make. You are toward the top.
In your life. I'm kidding.
Well, first, Eddie, Nym, first I should say. Eddie, Nym, how do you feel about this? What's going through your heads when you see these cybernetic, myconoid, human... And this isn't like robot people. This isn't like cyborgs where everything makes sense. There's like a monitor just like halfway shoved into someone's chest, and then the circuitry from it is arbitrarily mixing with roots of various fungi, which is then blending into the black blood vessels of the dead corpse that they're both inhabiting. What's going through your minds when you're seeing this?
I am too sober for this.
100%.
Same.
Safety is a lie. Normalcy is a lie. We're all gonna die.
Just fuck run.
Run.
The response is fuck run.
Basically, just like sees them, goes nope, pushes Eddie, move.
Then you two have made
Go faster, go faster, go faster, go faster, go faster.
Nope, move.
Have made the
Move, bitch.
I'll call it the final choice by running. I need both of you
get out of here
to roll. I need both of you to roll move.
Yeah.
Burn whatever drives you have if you got them.
Yep.
If I had them, I
I've
would.
got some drives. I'm going to use.
This is an individual check too. So one of you can succeed and one of you can fail.
I'm using both my drives. I've got no move. I need my drives. Oh, I need my drives. Okay. If I use 2 drives, that gives me 2 dice.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What did you get?
What did I get?
I don't like your expression.
That's a 1, baby.
Oh.
Did you not
My
burn any drives? Did you not have any
I don't have
drives?
any drives to burn.
Yep.
You don't have any drives in Nerf?
It's okay. What did you get, Nym?
Nope.
Is it?
Oh, fuck. Okay, great.
What you get, Nym?
Oh, no.
Is it 2
Considerably
ones?
better. Considerably better. I got a 4.
4. With only a 4 and a 1.
It's not great.
Nym, you start hauling. Eddie has called out the direction you're supposed to go. You're supposed to go up a ladder and open up another manhole cover, and you should be directly near the bar Eddie is thinking about. Eddie, with an absolute 1, you stumble. You don't even fall all the way. You just stumble, but you roll your ankle a little bit, and it slows your gait. And it means that you can feel these creatures closing. Now, they're still not close. Let me be clear. They're still probably, as Eddie reaches the ladder, roughly about 30 to 40 feet away from him. And when I say they, I do mean dozens, well over 100, maybe a couple hundred.
Oh my
Are like lined up
It's a
like
swarm.
a stream. Eddie, I need you to
It's a
roll.
swarm.
I'm gonna give this to you. I'm gonna give you this option so that we can see how harrowing this is. Eddie,
Oh
I
my
need
Lord.
you to roll. Uh, 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 it's gonna have to be a physical one. You can do one of two things. You can try to roll move again to dodge whatever's about to happen, or you can try and use your mind.
Oh my gosh.
The mind has a higher degree of success, a higher risk of, or the risk of failure is actually about the same. The mind has a bit of a consequence if you try to use it this way. The move has no consequence, no special consequence, but your move isn't as good as your sense. So if you roll a 6, you'll get no consequences for using mind. If you roll a 5 or a 4, you'll succeed, but there'll be a consequence. If you roll a 3 or a 2, there'll be a heavier consequence and mixed, and then a 1 is, of course, like worst case scenario.
All right, so
Oh my god.
this is what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Okay.
It's following us.
Yes.
They are following us.
Yeah.
It clearly there is something driving it.
Mm-hmm.
There is some form of sentience here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've sussed that out. It's not like full humanoid like sentient, but like it's creature enough sentient.
I'm gonna try to commune with it.
Oh my lord.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
All right.
Just
my god.
it's like
So hungry.
in terms of the narrative, it's a moment of panic. This is
Right.
like this
I
is
love it.
it's
You're not
so
wrong.
I'm gonna just
It's talking
so
to the bear when you think it's
I'm-
gonna get you.
I'm gonna this is how it's gonna
Here's the
happen.
bear.
So you said I rolled my
It's there.
ankle a little bit. I'm gonna say that I even ended up that even sort of made me trip. And I
Okay.
sort of, but it's got like I'm at enough of an angle so I'm able to sort of like turn around onto my back. Like I'm on my butt, like on my back, like just scrabbling away from it. And as it comes near me, I'm just gonna put my hands up and just like like in a moment of panic, just kind of like psychically reach out and just like is in sort of a please don't hurt me kind of thing.
All right. You make a sense
so-
roll.
So I am
Physically and
well
metaphorically show them
now-
your tummy.
I am gonna take a brain mark for this
Yep.
automatically because
Yep.
that's how commune works.
Yep.
Oh
And I make a sense roll.
gosh.
Come on.
That's a 5.
Okay, so I believe we can play this actually pretty straight to the thing.
Yeah.
So you get to answer a question. On a success, you get an answer. On a 4 or 5 result, the phenomenon will ask a question in return.
Yeah.
So, what is your question?
Can you leave us alone?
You hear.
Excuse me. Can you please leave us alone?
Please
Please,
leave
will
us
you
alone.
please leave us alone?
Give me. I might pivot what I was about to do here. No disadvantage on this. I know you don't have a pip in this, but you do have some drives in it, and you're welcome to use them. Give me a sway roll.
Okay.
I'll spend a drive on that.
Seems very drive spendable.
So I've moved you up to even. So if you spend a drive, you roll with advantage.
Okay. So I'm rolling 2 dice on this.
2 dice higher.
All right.
Yep.
Still only a 3.
3. All right. With a 3, You just hear the question back. Can I have your glasses? Oh.
So
Really?
I feel like in that moment of like that panic where there's in that instant sort of psychic reach, like that psychic was like, can you please leave us alone? And then there's a moment like, can I have your glasses? Eddie is frozen in that moment of like he's got his eyes closed and then he opens them and there's this like tendril reaching out, this like fungal tendril
Yep.
reaching out from
Exactly.
it. And Eddie's going to slowly reach up, turn his glasses off, and hand them out.
The level of gentle caress and and fragility with which this fungal tendril, with a little bit of wiring, grabs your glasses and is so precious with them as it holds it up
It's
and then turns to the group as all of the group look at the glasses and then look at this. They are currently distracted. Eddie, that's not the only bit of technology you have on you. That's not the only thing that they can walk.
Right.
There's dead bodies in this mix. You don't know what these are doing, but you have a window
Yeah.
now that you could get away.
I am going to try to get up and I'm not going to, it's not like a dead sprint run of fear, but it's going to be like very like, it's the description of like trying to talk to the bear. It's like, I just gave the bear a pot of honey, but we're still made of meat.
Yeah.
So it's distracted for the
Or
moment,
purpose.
but let us, if we don't want to try to startle it and realize like, oh, right, there's still that. And just sort of like, let's quickly and
True.
quietly make our way out of here.
And with Eddie quietly, Nym already at the manhole has pushed it open, or maybe you were hanging out on the ladder watching this, whatever you were
She was
doing.
behind the ladder, just like, what is happening?
Yeah. Nym and Eddie make it up to the manhole
here.
as you look down at this group of
Get up
people
here.
as they as they
What are
all
you doing?
seemingly begin to inspect the glasses and lightly preciously touch upon the edges of it and see, and with even at this distance you can see the fungus and the circuitry is beginning to kind of collect over the glasses and connect to them. Izzy, you get a text message back from Eddie that says, "We're good. We're good. We don't need. We're good. We don't need to grab food with you. But thanks for asking. We'll meet up. Or we'll meet up later. Or we'll meet up later. Or we'll meet up later. Nym and I aren't hungry right now. Or
Great,
no.
it knows
Sorry,
our
let me
names.
rephrase that. Nym and
I didn't even mention.
Nym and us aren't hungry right now.
Oh, great.
And Tery,
Holy heck.
you get something you've never received before.
Congratulations, you won an iPod Nano.
Your flip phone starts buzzing in your pocket. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
It's mine.
And you open it up and you just see something. And Tery, you're not necessarily always with it all the time. You're not necessarily always focused. But something you see a lot of is digital communications. So why would someone message you in this font? This isn't the display of your phone. This isn't the font of your phone. It's almost like
This is much
something's being
smaller.
projected and everything. You get a message, a message from someone that just says, "You need to get to Eddie. You need to get to my friend." And you don't know
It's
who
the
that's
spooky
from. It's an
zombie man.
unlisted number.
The spooky mummy man.
And
Eddie has other friends.
Eddie has friends.
It was not in that way.
We're not Eddie's only friends.
Eddie has a lot of friends. You just don't want to know about them.
And with that, and no particular
He's got friends on the
cliffhanger that I
other
can wedge
side.
in here for Kilo specifically.
Oh my gosh.
This time.
The only
I
thing
think
I'll
the
say
cliffhanger
is
for Kilo is the printer.
the prince. Yeah,
How do you poop? That's a good question.
the only
How do
thing
you-
that I will say for Kilo is that I will remind Kelly, and we could not get to where it was the consequence. There is a sword of Damocles hanging over Kilo's head for a bad roll that you made several sessions ago, and we'll have to find out what that sword is next
Several
time.
sessions ago.
Well, two. Because you didn't make it last time. You made it the time before when we were in this cliffhanger timeline as opposed to the last cliffhanger timeline.
Okay.
But nonetheless, for now, Cosmos Candela is all wrapped up. That's the end of the session with myconid cyber zombies and or also known as the people under the stairs.
Oh my god.
No, that's so much worse.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so spooky. It's
How
so
many of them are there?
cryptic.
Are they everywhere? Do they gravitate toward things? How does the station deal with them? They simply must know. But we'll find all that next time. Let's go round robin and do the things. So let's go with Radio Free Will. We'll start with you.
Hi, I'm Radio Free Will. You can find me under that name, Radio Free Will. It's all one word on TikTok. Most other places, it is Radio_Free Will, where I run games like Exalted and Armor Astra Advent, and I'm started a new run of the classic Final Fantasy original game because my computer's not strong enough to run the remakes. You can also, if you want to join in on any of the games that I'm running, you can also join. There's still plenty of seats available at every game I'm running over on startplaying.games. My Monster of the Week game is getting started this week. We just got our third player for that. And I also have an Exalted game, a Worldwide Wrestling. Still trying to get players together for Masks: A New Generation and the Wild Sea. Also keep an eye out on my Twitch channel for the return or a reinvention of a show that I used to run a lot a couple years ago. It used to be called the One Shot Firing Range. I think it's getting rebranded as to What Game Is This Anyway? So
That's cool.
yeah, that's what I got.
Very fun.
Kelhop.
I'm the Kelhop. That's it. Thank you.
It's all she wrote.
Do we get to say, do we know if a certain thing is going to premiere at an exact certain time yet or not? I believe they just in the room or like a few weeks ago decided when season 2 of something was coming out. Discord channel. Yeah, maybe you don't know. Okay, we won't say anything. You should probably catch up on
I
it.
want to read that.
Vote for
I
Kelly.
should
Probably read that.
Vote for
Vote for
Kelly. Oh yeah.
Kelly.
What about
Vote for Kelly.
Vote for Kelly.
Is that all done now?
Read awards. Vote for
No,
Kelly.
it's not done.
Indicate.
Vote
Right?
for Kelly.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vote for Kelly on that. Giggle Girl Productions.
Do it.
Hello, I am in constant fear and terror because of this game specifically and the power that Steve has over us. My name is Giggle Girl Productions. You can also find me on Wednesdays doing the Advent Asters game over in Bigger Street, having a great old time. Making plans, watching them crumble 2 seconds later, and then making a new plan. We're doing so good, guys.
It's not Baker Street anymore.
What's it called
Radio
then?
Free Will.
Radio Free Will. It's Radio
Oh, it's just straight
_Free
up Radio
Will.
Free Will?
Yeah, it's my channel. It's
Okay. Well, 100%. Whatever he said, he's so smart. He's got all the news. Besides that, you can find me on TikTok on the occasion. I've been looking at maybe posting again because that's a thing that I can do. Got free will.
That is.
I'm not radio free will, but I have free will. I can do what I want.
Glitch, where can people find you?
You can find me on as that son of a glitch on multiple social medias and other things. You can find me on. Good luck, fuckers. Have fun.
Have fun. And last but not least, Julia, where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram. It's at
She sounds
stark.ju.
so excited.
And I draw there,
About as
and
excited as
I'll
anyone can be about Instagram.
I'll probably
Also-
like.
Vote for Julia for best
Vote for
fan art in
Julia.
the Crit Awards.
Yeah.
I
actually.
haven't. That's the problem. I was like, oh, I think I should try it, and then I was like, but I haven't done like any fan art this year. I don't know. I need to check
It's not
if
true.
there's.
That's relevant.
I'll check if
We'll
there's
find out.
there's a time frame. I think, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And I will stream. I will try to stream this week. I just need to get the game together,
Get the game
and
together.
I'll post about it.
Get your game together.
And
Please do.
lastly, of course, I'm
Gotta
at
get
Dying of Exposure across all social medias and informational platforms.
Your
Thank you
game,
for joining
mommy.
us. I'm also known as Game Mommy. You can, of course, find us back here on Tuesdays. You can find me and my friend Triple A Ron playing Baldur's Gate Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Pacific. 8 to 8:30 is usually when we start off. p.m. Pacific on Thursday nights. He's having a blast playing through his first run through of Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm just watching it and streaming it on my channel, which is the best because I don't have to do any of the stuff other than color commentate. But until then, we will be back. We will be back next time here on Cosmos Candela. For now, I'm going to stream. I'm going to raid a personal friend of mine, Nerdy DJ out of Portland, who's currently playing Stardew Valley right now. So everyone have
Nice.
a great grand old time, and we will be raiding them soon. See you next time. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
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 And raid is complete. And more importantly, so too
Awesome.
is the